It's always a good thing when manufacturers listen to feedback, work upon it, and then update their products. This is the updated TVS Apache RTR 310, and TVS has been listening to all the complaints and feedback that customers and us journals have given them. They have updated it with not just more features, but they've also set to work on some of the refinement issues that plagued the earlier motorcycle. Well, how good are those updates now, and is it still worth the money? Is it still offering you a lot of value for money? That is what we're going to find out in today's video. Alright, let's get down to business and discover what exactly are the updates. One of the key changes is, well, keyless start and stop. Well, that's quite a nifty feature, and I'm happy to see that TVS has offered it on the RTR 310. It's something that even the RR 310 does not get, so that comes as quite a surprise. Then you also have a transparent clutch cover that looks really great in motion and catches a lot of eyeballs. Besides this, the bike also gets sequential turn indicators, launch control, and a pair of sturdy handguards. Mechanically, the engine gets new calibration and the torque delivery has been made more linear. That is a welcome change, as the previous bike would surge forward suddenly, sometimes catching newbies off guard. Besides this, the RTR 310 is available in 4 new colors that look striking without being over the top. So, how have these changes transpired to the riding experience? Well, we had a short stint at the fast and entertaining coast track in Coimbatore, as well as on the public road, with potholes and corners thrown in the mix. And the bike performed very well. Okay, the engine again is quite punchy. As I said, the spread of torque is really nice. It feels more linear when you're accelerating. There's no surge, so that really doesn't take you by surprise. Now, what that does is also helps you get good throttle control. So when you're going around some of the corners around here, you have a good idea, rather a sense of modulation of the throttle, and at the same time the acceleration feels a lot more friendlier now. That's not to say that it is slow. In fact, it is quite peppy. It sounds really nice and peppy when you listen to it go past, and it feels quite fast as well. Now again, the way it is being geared is more for the city riding, so when you ride it in the city, you can feel that it feels more urgent, and that is one of the best things that goes with the characteristics of this whole street fighter motorcycle. Speaking of gearing, the shorter gearing means the engine still sounds a little busy at high speeds and high revs, but the vibrations are notably reduced in the 2025 Apache RTR 310. That's one big concern that TVS has addressed, but we'd like to speak more conclusively about refinement when we road test the bike back home in a few weeks' time. The performance aside, what makes this bike appealing is the sheer value for money that the bike offers. The Apache RTR 310 in its fully loaded spec is still quite a lot of value for money if you consider what you're getting. Like for example, fully adjustable suspension at the front and the rear. You have bi-directional quick shifter that works seamlessly and beautifully. Cruise control. You have cornering traction control, cornering ABS. You have everything that you'd possibly want on a motorcycle. At the same time, the quality levels are just stupendous. It's amazing how everything has been put together. The feel of the switches, the wiring harness, if you look at that closely, if you look at the paint finish, everything is just wonderfully done. It's just one of the most well-made motorcycles in the segment, period. The design of the bike is also quite appealing. All the looks, as always, are subjective. To me, the twin LED headlights, the shape of the tank, and the aluminium subframe as well as the LED taillights add to the visual charm of this Apache. While the design is good, the ergos are a bit of a hit and miss. Alright, about the ergonomics of the motorcycle now, as you can see, I'm seated nice into the motorcycle. It feels quite connected. The handlebar is within very easy reach, and the foot pegs are slightly forward set though. So this is very comfortable when you're out on the street. They've got it really spot on. But if you're going to take this motorcycle out on the racetrack, you must get rid of the feeler bores that the foot pegs come with. In fact, I wish TVS would have offered rear set foot pegs as an option on the Apache RTR 310 like they do on the RR 310. That would help with the cornering clearance and prevent the foot pegs from scraping on the ground when you're cornering. And lastly, the handling of the bike is simply superb. The chassis works beautifully to instill tremendous confidence in the rider while attacking corners. Whether it's the feel and feedback from the front end or the grip offered by the stock Michelin tires, the RTR 310 is quite the corner carver's delight. Alright, to sum up the Apache RTR 310 that's just been updated. Well, the updates are small yet quite significant, and I think TVS has tried their very best to address a lot of the issues that plagued the first Apache RTR 310. The refinement has definitely improved. The throttle response is far more better, far more predictable and more friendlier. And at the same time, you have a plethora of features. You can think about whatever feature you want on a motorcycle, and this thing has it. Probably some from unit segments 1 or 2 above where this motorcycle sits at. So all things considered, I think this is quite an interesting product when you look at the way this motorcycle rides and handles, when you look at the package that it offers and the package that it brings to the table. I think it is something that's now worth looking at.